Hello, good morning, Manly Pants. How are you?
Why, good morning, lady with string cheese in her pajamas.
Oh, thought you were going to say something else. Okay.
Uh,
Something else in your pajamas?
Malcolm, it's one of the manliest men I know. Is this not so absurd? This whole, first of all, Trump trying to I don't even want. What was the reporter? He asked the reporter to take the face mask off, and he's like, "Oh, because you want to be politically correct." And the reporter's like, "No, I want to wear the mask." And then they're obviously trying to mock Joe Biden. First of all, he's like, "Oh, I just thought it was funny he didn't wear the mask inside." No, because no one wears a mask inside your house. The point is you wear it when you go out to protect other people, right? Okay.
Yeah. Well, okay. So what we're doing, we're having a man's dance. What is it? Man dance going on
Yep.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Donald Trump really feels that he needs to show his inner masculinity or whatever it is. Listen, all I want to know is, and I think it was Nicole Wallace who said, Donald Trump was standing at the tomb of the unknown soldier like he was in heels.
I saw that.
And she does that funny lean forward, which might indicate dementia, but she goes, I wonder if they're lifts.
They are lifts.
Oh,
No,
totally,
Noel
yeah.
Kessler told us that he wears
Okay.
anyone that worked on Apprentice knows he wears a girdle and he wears lifts.
Okay,
mean-
Mr. Macho,
Yeah.
wearing a girdle, wearing man makeup, wearing, lip gloss and getting a tan sprayed on you and wearing heels, essentially.
Did you see?
I will take Joe Biden on that man game any day. Donald
you-
Trump's man card was pulled long ago.
Did you see? Did you see Ann Coulter? We just played video of her calling him a C. Ann Coulter. So if you're paying attention to that particular measuring contest, Ann Coulter's is bigger.
Oh, stop it. Stephanie.
Yes. Yes, Sean, or excuse me, Joe Biden was asked about, this is so ridiculous, like we're in 8th grade, about, oh, you're a blue state, see, you wore a mask. And so here's Joe Biden. Okay.
President's supposed to lead by example, and
Yeah.
and I watched the president yesterday wearing no mask, and some making fun of the fact I wore a mask. The truth of the matter is that I think you're supposed to lead by example.
The reporters are even asking him, is it show strength or weakness wearing a mask? And he said it shows leadership.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
I hate the namby-pamby. Hey, Mr. Vice President, do you think something which could prevent thousands upon thousands of infections and death is masculine or not? This the equal sides question of this, which mutes down the real reality of it, is that American citizens are dying. We will reach, by the end of Eastern time today, 100,000
Oh, we're already there.
of our citizens dead.
we're already there. We're at 100,191 as of,
Oh, I haven't even had my second coffee.
Yeah.
And this is insane. It's a disgrace where we are. A true man, a true leader, someone who would step up, will take responsibility, and will say, I will assist with all resource to stop this. I will set the example. I will go forward and be the person that will actually lead. Not this guy. This guy hides from everything. He is beyond the 5-time draft dodging coward that we all know he is. He's terrified, mortified of human contact. And you know what he's more mortified of anything now? Getting coronavirus. Because that's why he lets other people wear a mask around him, so that his royalness, Donald Trump, will not get it. Believe me, karma will not be particularly kind to Donald Trump when at some point he wants to have a rally of 50,000 people,
yeah.
and he and his followers spread coronavirus.
Yeah, where, by the way, my mom is in the hospital today because,
I heard. God bless her.
No, thank you, honey. And hopefully she'll get out today. But we all have to be terrified now that our loved ones are going to get it in the hospital. She's, having, thank God it doesn't seem to be anything serious. But now we have to worry about that. Cases are up 250% in Charlotte, Malcolm. And he wants to go ahead with a convention in Charlotte, which would be the super spreader event of all super spreader events, right?
And North Carolina should take that hit. North Carolina should say, go. Just go to somewhere else.
Yeah.
They shouldn't risk the health and welfare of their citizens for a few extra Uber taxi rides. I love Charlotte. I've been to
Yeah.
Charlotte. I've spoken there
Yeah.
several times. It's a small downtown.
Yeah.
It's a very,
Mm-hmm.
very small downtown. And, the hotels would just be packed, so they should just take that hit and say, look, go on to hold it in Florida, hold it in Georgia, someplace where you don't care and the governors don't care about their population. But I'll say this, in here in New York State, and I'm lucky because I live upstate and rural, we've only had 36 deaths in the county that I'm at. One county below me has had almost 10,000. So, these hospitals are coronavirus factories.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
do not want to be in these places if you don't have to be. And wearing a mask and trying to stifle this is the least any one person can do, not Donald Trump.
Let's listen one more Joe Biden yesterday.
Look, 100,000 deaths. 100,000 deaths. And at least 35,000 to 50,000 were avoidable. But for lack of attention and ego, I think.
By the way, in mocking him for staying in his basement, it's like, this is what your CDC is recommending. You stay at home right now, depending on the state you're in. You wear a mask. Joe Biden, one more.
He's a fool, an absolute fool.
Thank you.
To talk that way. I mean, every leading doc in the world is saying we should wear a mask when you're in a crowd. And especially when you know you're going to be in a position where you're going to certainly get closer than 12 feet to somebody. I know we're 12 feet apart, I get that. But it's just absolutely this macho stuff for a guy. Well, I shouldn't get going, but it just is. It's
Oh, please.
cost people's lives.
By the way, they keep saying like, oh, he really needs to get out there. I'm like, really? He's ahead 11 points. If I dig something under his basement and go down there because right? I mean, he's up like whatever 10, 11 points in the polls. I think letting Donald Trump talk is working splendidly, I think.
You know what I would do? I would troll Trump. And again, if anybody in the campaign is listening who has direct access to Joe Biden, I'm 1 degree of separation, but I would say, I'm not in my basement. I'm in the Delaware White House.
Yeah.
You've got Mar-a-Lago. I've got my house. A lot nicer, and there's a Wawa nearby. But, which is the most important thing in life.
Yeah.
So, but, Joe Biden is right. And I think Joe should designate Jill Biden as the technical hitter here. And Jill Biden should come out every time one of these statements is made and use my favorite hashtag. Hashtag, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Are you sick? Are you want to kill your parents? You want to kill other people's parents? What is wrong with you? And I implore everybody, every time Trump says something crazy, to push that hashtag out. Because we need to show the rest of the nation this is unbalanced. This is dangerous. This is murderous.
Yeah.
To allow our citizens to die this way. Like Willie Guy said this morning, he's beyond coronavirus. Coronavirus is finished in his head.
Yeah.
He doesn't care if there's a second wave that kills far more than the first wave.
We aren't even going to get to a second. We aren't even get to a second wave. This, first wave is going to be so big because of idiots modeling the president's behavior. One more Joe Biden, and we'll
And it's stoking deaths.
Thank you.
It's not going to increase the likelihood that people are going to be better
So
off.
do you think wearing a mask projects strength or weakness?
Leadership.
Thank
what it
you.
presents and projects is leadership. Presidents are supposed to lead, not engage in folly and be falsely masculine. It reminds me of the guys that I grew up with playing ball. They'd walk around with a ball in their hand, but they didn't like to hit very much.
Malcolm, you as someone who served, I always have the same, when he walks on the ground in Arlington that my father is buried in, I have this extra ugh. And you tweeted someone that said, you don't wish people a happy Memorial Day in all caps. You said, good God, this man is stupid. It's a day of mourning for the dead. In all caps, happy Memorial Day.
He doesn't understand what the word mourning means. He thinks that it's the English spelling of sunrise.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, he really is, without any question, the stupidest man to ever hold this office. he has a special skill at understanding the morons that support him. But let me tell you, it's not toxic masculinity. It's not political correctness. He is making this virus a culture war figure to where it's us versus them. The way, being polite to people is considered weak. Now he considers wearing a mask and saving your life, your children's life, your mother's life, your parents' life. He considers that weak right now. I went into a supermarket nearby the other day, and in comes this old guy in his 70s wearing a U.S. Army hat. A U.S. Army hat. And he wears no mask, and he was like defiant of it. And I turned around and I'm wearing a Navy mask. And I go, hey, troop, you have to wear a mask. It's the law. It's for your protection, not just mine. He was like 80 years old.
Yeah.
You have to be able to go up and be the person don't be that guy, as they say here in New York State with their little advertisement. You have to protect each of us. These are the same morons, and I use that word liberally here, all right, small L. These are the same morons that will put on their seatbelts, that will drive the speed limit, right, to a protest rally to carry guns against putting a mask on, which is a safety measure designed to keep you and other citizens alive. So they obey some laws, but this is a liberal law now in their mind, and it's going to kill thousands of Americans, not Republicans, not liberals, not independents, not conservatives, Americans. And we need to reject it. Absolutely. When you see it.
Someone had a great tip on Twitter how you deal with these manly men that say that to you in public about masks. Just say, I work in a COVID ward. That's why I'm wearing this, to protect you, and see how fast the manly men run. They're cowards. They really are.
They are.
Malcolm, before you go, let's talk about real quick. Clearly, Barr and Trump's aim is to try to erase the entire Russia investigation before the election, right? To try and, first of all, enable them to do it again, which they already are. But Trump's intel chief has promised to release the full transcript of Flynn's call to the Russian investigator. What do you make of Adam Schiff said it's clear the administration is selectively declassifying information for purely political purposes, an abuse of the classification system. We need to ensure a transparent and complete public record free of political manipulation. It's time to declassify the Flynn transcripts. After Barr's memo about the Mueller report, I don't trust anything. They are clearly going to try to manipulate this the best they can.
Right. I'm finishing today the paperback edition of Plot to Betray America, which when it came out last year, the last thing in that book was the Barr letter and the Mueller report. And you guys might recall, I was pulled off air for several weeks because the Barr memo was a lie, where he said there's nothing there. The Mueller report completely absolved him of everything. 3 weeks later, the Mueller report comes out and essentially says they were all one step below treason, except that they lied and withheld information from us. As a matter of fact, Donald Trump Jr. came out yesterday with his stupidity, saying that blue check Democrat journalists and everybody who pushed this false report. Mueller said he was too stupid to be charged with a crime because he wasn't aware of what the law was, Donald Trump Jr. They all got a white privilege pass. I'm sorry. That's it. They all got the Karen card, and they got away with it. So now he's trying to eliminate all this. And so in this edition of Plot to Betray America, you got to reread it. I had to rewrite almost the whole book because everything they did for the last 3 years brought us to the deaths of hundreds of thousands of people and the destruction of the United States national security apparatus. And our intelligence communities are on the verge of being compromised. Russia is pleased. The CIA is practically cannot trust their own White House not to compromise their covert officers in the field for political purposes.
Now he's trying to blame his intelligence agencies, according to Vanity Fair, for not telling him about coronavirus, which they did. So he's trying to. Yes.
We have a saying in the community, right? You can lead a decision maker to intelligence, but you can't make them think.
Yeah.
And that's Donald Trump. We produce. We do not take action. Yeah. When I send a letter, when the National director of a national medical intelligence agency, sends over an assessment that there is an outbreak in China. Look, even the lowliest guy with a top secret clearance can read that stuff on IntelLink, on our little internet full of classified. Trump was briefed that. He didn't want to hear about that.
I know.
He wanted to hear about flavored vaping.
Yep. By the way, Malcolm, we're out of time, but I have to say, I keep saying this panic over mail-in voting tells me absolutely he knows that, first of all, Russia hacked into voter rolls, into systems in 2016. It tells me he knows that they are going to help in 2020, and he is panicked about a fair vote.
He's absolutely panicked because by voting by mail, you can't hack it.
Can't hack it. There's a paper trail.
Every service member in the armed forces of the United States votes by mail. I voted by mail my entire 20 years when I was in the military. You might recall in the run-up to the 2016 or 2008 election with Al Gore, 2000 election, they got 538 extra military votes for George Bush to win the election by mail-in votes.
Thank you. All right, we're way long. I love you, Malcolm. Goodbye from your man cave.
Bye.
Manliest of men from your man cave. Goodbye.